Oh shit! I'm so sorry. What have I done? I'm so sorry.
I can't feel my
Oh
kid.
crap! The tiger sting like the bee, guys. I have bad nerves. I'm so sorry. Feel better, okay?
On March 19th, 2016, we were introduced to Lila Rossi with the episode Volpina. She is the new girl in Marinette's school who recently moved from Italy and is lying to everyone she interacts with. She gets to Adrian right off the bat, which doesn't sit well with Marinette, so she spies on them on their date at the park where they talk about superheroes, and Lila lies about being a descendant of a superhero who, in her words, is better than Ladybug. She also claims to be BFFs with Ladybug. Marinette, who is Ladybug, calls bullshit on this and harshly calls her out in front of Adrian. Then Lila gets akumatized and at the end seems to be on okay terms with Ladybug, or that's what she wants Ladybug to think. This planted the seeds for a whole new antagonist in the show. Everyone and their mamas were freaking out because up until that point we'd only had Chloe as a mean girl, and back then she loved Ladybug, so Lila hating her was an interesting change. But it's not just Ladybug she hated, because in later episodes, Marinette, who knew about her lies, confronted her about them. Because Lila realized Marinette is not like everyone else who blindly believes everything she says, even with the inconsistencies, and her debunking all the lies to everyone else will ruin everything she's built for herself. So naturally she threatens Marinette for her life if she says anything and pins her on the wall, what Pachangkook bad boy style. You're either with me or against me, Miss Pigtails. And Marinette chose the latter. So now Lila hates Marinette in both forms. How convenient. In the next few episodes she's a part of, we see her lying to everybody and them believing her without a second thought. Lila is a philanthropist, charity queen, rescues baby rhinos from dying, knows Chulu from Luna personally, and more. Marinette's so-called friends are so quick to turn on her and defend Lila. Exhibit A, Chameleon. During lunch, Lila lies about her sprained wrist and Marinette throws a napkin to her, which she immediately catches by reflex. Everyone looks at her and she is reminded to keep up with the lie, therefore pretends to be in pain and makes up a story about someone during her trip to India getting their eye gouged out by the corner of a napkin, and that if she hadn't caught it, the weightless harmless napkin would have cut through Max's thick-ass glasses and blinded him. Max is the smart-ass nerd of the class, by the way. And he believes her. The nerd fell for this. Even August the lollipop baby would know this is cap. That's how you know the writing makes zero sense here. Straight up incoherent and unrealistic. In the season 2 finale she is seen lying to her mom about there being an Akuma attack and the schools being closed because of it. And of course her mom believes it, even though just by taking a look out the window she could see this is cap. Like there's a whole ass celebration out there. This mom works at an embassy and doesn't have much time for her daughter. Keep this woman in mind for later. In another episode Lila attempts to frame Marinette and get her kicked out of the school for stealing her and the school's belongings. Of course everyone believes Marinette actually stole, despite knowing she would never do that. Alia is the only one who tried to prove the allegations wrong, but most of the time she is leaning more on Lila's side, to be honest. Because she is aware that Marinette disliked Lila from the moment she flirted with Adrian, and thinks there is nothing more to that except petty jealousy. Adrian is the only one exclusively on Marinette's side and doesn't believe shit Lila says, and at the end of this episode he tells her he knows she lied to get Marinette expelled, and to lie again and make the principal take Marinette back like nothing ever happened. And so she did, by saying to the principal and multiple other people that she has a rare lying disease. Will this affect how other people believe her in the future? Of course not. Because believing every crazy absurd thing someone tells you they did after admitting to having a lying disorder is totally smart. She hangs out with Adrian against his will and makes Kagami jealous, so they got beef now. She also makes a deal with creepy-ass Gabriel to spy on his son and make sure he is away from quote-unquote bad influences. Check out my last video about this because that's a whole another story. And in exchange he would make her the face of his brand. In penultime, also known as the worst miraculous episode in history, she forms an alliance with Chloe. In the season 4 finale she and Adrian are filming this in different counties. Okay Artems. In the season 4 finale she is seen outside the train with another woman who is not the mom we saw in the season 2 finale. Keep her in mind too. At the end of the episode she smirks when she sees Nathali collapse. Crazy ass bitch. Sorry. In multiplication she is digitized / has had a deepfake of her made along with Adrian for a new business venture / plan to keep exploiting his son. That being the sketchy ass alliance rings available in stores near you. You can even customize your 14-year-old Lila or Adrian avatars and put them in underwear, yes. We love child exploitation, right Gabriel and Tomoe?
It shouldn't be a child's duty to fight Monarch.
Uncommon Lila W. She was spitting here. Next time she does something of importance is in Perfection, where she finally does what she told Marinette she would do. Turn her friends against her or whatever. Kagami is the target, and a good one at that, since she is easily manipulated because of her lack of experience with friendships and isolation growing up. Lila makes her think Marinette doesn't want to be her friend or real friend, and she ends up believing that after checking all the boxes on a list Lila made her that came from a series of misunderstandings. But Lila made a rookie mistake and missed one thing. That being Kagami is probably autistic and sees things as very black and white. Marinette doesn't want to be my friend, which means I'm not good enough for her, so I'm not good enough for anyone, and no one wants to be my friend. Including Lila. Oops. After Kagami tells her this and hangs up, it cuts to Lila cutting Marinette's head from pictures of her with family and friends that we haven't even seen, from angles that can only be explained as her taking pics of Marinette from far away in her private time. So like stalking her. Insane behavior, I'm telling you. At the end Kagami and Marinette have resolved the misunderstanding. But Lila does not give up and tries to get to Kagami once again in protection by using her conflicting feelings about Marinette and Adrian dating, who her mother has been manipulating her to think she still has feelings for. After gaslighting Kagami for a solid 5 minutes, she gets akumatized, but once again the misunderstanding is discussed with Marinette and Adrian and makes them even closer. So Lila's plan backfired again. Oops. In adoration, she hangs out with Chloe and they make Sabrina feel like shit, so she gets akumarized and frames Marinette for stealing again. Lila, now why would you do a Ladybug part 2? Like, you know this didn't work, so why would you do it again? Be serious. In emotion, she wants to go to the diamond ball to fill her ego, but Gabriel decides he's going to drop her and their collab because he's going to exploit Kagami instead. Kagami even bluntly lets her know she is not on their level and she gets visibly mad at that. At the end, she calls Gabriel Monarch, confirming that she knows. So her smirking at Nathalie after her call with Gabriel and strike back was because she knew who Nathalie was calling and why. Or maybe she found out during the time she made her deal with Gabriel? And that's the reason she approached him in the first place? Who the hell knows? In Revelation, she talks to her mom on the phone and lies about being in the savannah. She hangs up and this woman we've never seen before comes in and starts talking to her in sign language. Lila calls her mom and says the person on the phone was her agent. Lila heads to Sabine's painting class, lies to everyone on the bus, claims Sabine is like a mother to her and is officially fired by Gabriel and resolved with Kagami. Later she convinces the entire class to redo elections for class representative 2 weeks before the end of the school year because she just now thinks it wasn't fair how they held the elections before she joined. Which doesn't really make sense, but okay. Everyone in this episode besides Marinette and Adrian are written the most out of character they could have possibly be written. Especially Alia and Nino. What the hell happened to them? Did the writers paralyze them? Something's not right. Because even after Marinette revealed herself to Alia as Ladybug, Alia still sides with Lila and thinks she's a good person despite Marinette constantly telling her she's not, after having dealt with her multiple times. Also, her and Adrian are dating now, so there's no reason to think Marinette would still be mad about her flirting with Adrian at the start of the school year. Like that drama is expired now, she doesn't even want Adrian. But enough about Alia and Marinette. Lila gets akumatized after making a scene in class and gets the power to convince everyone everything she says is true. Isn't that already her entire thing? Anyways. From this she manages to get Nathalie to send her pictures/evidence of Gabriel's past before fame. One click away from his name trending on Twitter. Like if that was me, his family's French fry business and Mohawk mugshot would be everywhere. She also gets pictures of Emily's corpse in the basement, the grimoire and the twin rings with Adrian's amok. What did she do with these pictures? Spoiler. Nothing. At the end she gets Marinette's fake-ass friends to vote for her and becomes the new class president. Oh, and Chloe is her depute and forced to keep this creepy smile. In confrontation they make Sabrina forge everybody's handwriting and make fake forms with professions they don't want to do for the teachers' rep meeting. And they'll frame Marinette for it since they're switching class reps and she'll be handing these folders to the new class rep. Her ironic-ass comment about solving every political conflict to establish world peace, yes, she might just be a war criminal in the making. Period. This plan to frame Marinette backfires because Marinette is the queen of plot armor-ass plans and Lila is expelled, but not really. Well, Chloe isn't because she pulls the daddy mayor card and covers for Lila too, but she leaves Anne. Are you ready? Casually drops her wig in a trash can publicly and goes to another school for a teacher's rep meeting, where everyone calls her Cerise. Also, she somehow got her contacts off too. In the middle of the street? Okay. Screw everything I just said about Lila because none of it is true. She is not Lila. Everything we thought we knew about her is a lie. From her name to her fucka skin tone. And who's to say she's not lying about her age too? Because what 14-year-old is capable of this shit? Fabricated identities and multiple lives with different mothers as different people is crazy. But we are not done just yet. In collusion she keeps doing shit from a room, the catacombs and an earpiece to guide Chloe as she becomes a terrorist dictator in the bright year of 2016. Also gets Miss Ginger fired and spies on Gabriel, though Chloe. We see another disguise of hers as a waitress and honestly she ate, but that's besides the point. In Revolution she teaches Chloe how to spell democracy. I mean, if Miss Bustier couldn't, someone's gotta do it. And gets Tomo's laptop, which she dropped while a protest was happening. In the season 5 finale she shows up to Gabriel's house with a different disguise and the police robots and somehow has access to the locks in the mansion. And with the help of plot armor she gets the butterfly miraculous that fell in the water in the basement, which she wasn't in because she was watching the entire fight from the entrance. Because she needs to be the main villain for the next 5 seasons because they need to make more. Get her some popcorn too. At the very end of the finale she signs up to Owlman's new school, which I'm assuming Marinette is also going to, since right after she pulled out the butterfly brooch and mentioned how she can't wait to see her GF Marinette. Then things start floating and there's electricity or something and she gets jump scared. She saw James Charles probably. The problem with Lila, or whatever you want to call her, is that she is not what the writers are trying to convince you. She is meant to be a manipulative ass bitch who is good at lying. None of this girl's lies are good or convincing side from maybe Kagami's case. But that only worked because Kagami was vulnerable and didn't know better. Her character doesn't work because she is really not a good liar. This bitch claimed she knows every language in the world, which is not believable or plausible at all, yet everyone believed her. Like, okay, speak every language in front of us right now. She could say she's the Queen of England and they'd still believe her because everybody lacks brain cells when she's present. She just has that effect on the other characters. It's really not hard to write a good liar. I don't know how they fumbled this bad. Instead of making her lies good, they dumb down every character she lies to so they'll believe her, even if it's out of character. For example, Alia. She is a goddamn reporter who supposedly cites her sources, but when it comes to Lila, the source is the moon. Being a flawed reporter isn't a bad thing to add to Alia's character, but when the lies she falls for are this bad, you know the writing doesn't work. But screw Marinette. Adrian's friends won't believe him when it comes to Lila, who he's worked with so many times and who has experience with her. This goes beyond Marinette's initial dislike for Lila for the Adrian thing. As for the identity mom thing, I have no idea. Like, okay, Miss Identity Fraud, how did you pull this off? At the end of the season 5 finale, she calls Mr. Owl to go to his new school under a new identity. Here's where I have to show y'all the storyboard version of this scene because she was supposed to have this disguise with the name Iris Verdi. Allman was supposed to comment on how she looked familiar and she'd say, oh yeah, I'm pretty basic lol. Like, girl, get a voice changer or something.
Mr. Democles, hello, my name is Iris Verdi. My family and I just moved to Paris. Is it still possible to register at your new school for the upcoming year?
Of course. It's funny, I feel like I've seen you before.
Oh, it must be due to my very ordinary physical appearance.
Well then, I'll see you at the start of the school year, Iris.
I look forward to seeing you again, Marinette Dupain-Chang.
What happens if she gets caught? Like, seriously. No, even Gabriel knew about this multiple identities thing. Which begs the question, which mom did speak to when it came to Lila's brand activities? The ambassador? The deaf one? The other one on the phone? Another one we haven't seen? Did he speak to any mom at all? If not, I'm pretty sure that's illegal. Like, that's a minor. Although we've seen one of her moms with her before she got on the train to London in the season 4 finale and Nathalie was there too. Has Gabriel ever met this mom? Also, there's no way she has a different identity with each mom, right? At first I thought she was Iris to one of them, Cerise to another and Lila to another one. But since she's interacted with 3 of them with her Lila wig, I assume that's not the case. Like, she just does these side quests as different people. Cerise? Who the hell is her guardian under that name? Does she have fake birth certificates? Also, does she name her wigs? Because whenever I say Lila, I'm thinking of her sausage wig. So when she threw away that wig, she killed Lila with it. Deep shit. The legal aspect of this is, I won't even talk about it. I just know the writers will fuck this up so bad and probably won't even explain how she did all that. Speaking of season 6, Jeremy Zag posted these on his Instagram, kinda spoiling Marinette's new outfit and new set designs. One thing that I found interesting was the emphasis on the biker girl. That bob looks oddly familiar. Also, we've seen Lila on a bike before. Not saying this is Lila in another wig, but that's exactly what I'm saying. I don't even know what to call her since she practically killed her Lila persona the moment she threw away the wig. Goodbye Lila. The end of an era. Welcome Cerise or Iris, whatever you call yourself. I don't want this video to be too long, so I won't get into the theories about her going around at the moment, like the Lila being man and time travel theory, or the Marinette Lila sisters one. If you think these are crazy, there are even worse ones. Like and subscribe or Lila will kill you, rip your hair out and make herself a new wig with it and replace you like nothing happened.